So, I have worked with hundreds of single women to help them get their dating lives back on track, especially after really bad breakups. And over and over and over again, the same thing happens. They get their love lives all sorted out, and they start dating someone really wonderful, and then boom, here he comes, the dreaded ex, or as some of my clients refer to him, Mr. Kryptonite, the guy who somehow gets through all of your defenses even when you know better. And the thing is that this always puts the clients that I work with, it always puts these amazing women into this tailspin. And they're like, what the heck? I can't believe this. When I finally get my life together, here you come, right? And these lovely women who have worked so hard on their lives, their love lives, and their own healing their heart, getting back on track, they now have to go through the drama of trying to figure out what to do with all these emotions that he's stirring up, and with wondering if this is some kind of a sign that they're supposed to get back together. So if this has ever happened to you, then I really want to let you know what's going on behind the scenes here so that you can have some peace of mind for yourself. And if this has not happened to you yet, then you're still going to want to keep watching, because this happens so often. You really want to be prepared, because it happens a lot. So today we're going to talk about why your ex comes back when you finally moved on. And there's something very that's on purpose. That happens because of something that's going on energetically, right? So it's not like just a coincidence that you're dating somebody wonderful and all of a sudden here he comes, your ex comes back. That's not a coincidence. So why does your ex come back when you have finally moved on? Reason number one, the grass was not greener on the other side. So, whatever insecurities that your ex might have been running from when you broke up, he took them with him into the new relationship. And if he didn't actually do any work on himself to be able to have a good relationship, then his new relationship probably has a lot of the same problems that it had before. Reason number two, absence makes the heart grow fonder. So, when you are apart and the negative emotions have had a chance to cool for a bit, it's really natural for him to start thinking about the good times and wondering if maybe he made a mistake. And especially when the honeymoon period of a relationship is kind of over and you're left with who that person actually is on the day-to-day, which may not be who they were in the beginning when things were exciting and romantic and all of that kind of thing. And so that can sometimes make him also miss you and want to come back to be with you, because he knows who you were on the day-to-day, because you actually had that kind of time together. So that's number two. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Number three, energetic stuff is going on behind the scenes, love, like really big energetic stuff. One thing is, if you're an empath or if you are highly sensitive to energy, to other people's energy, you may not understand that or completely get what that's doing with you in your love life, in your love relationships. And empaths are very, very attractive to narcissists, unfortunately. So he'll probably keep trying to come back over and over and over, because an empath who overgives and doesn't have boundaries is intoxicating to a narcissist. And he will just use you up until he's used you up completely, if you allow that to happen. Another thing that happens in energy is that if you've cut cords energetically to exes, then he may feel you let go subconsciously, and he's now reaching out to try to restore that connection, not because it's good or healthy, but just because he's used to it being there and it feels weird without it. I was cutting an energetic cord with a client of mine once, and she, in the middle of it, right in the middle of it, got a text from her ex whom she hadn't heard from in 2 months. And literally, he was texting her right then. So things that are happening in energy are very intense, very strong, and some people are more sensitive to understanding and feeling those things, and can tell that something's really going on. So often an ex will come back because they feel you letting go on an energetic level. And the last big thing that's happening in energy, when your ex comes back after you have finally moved on, is that a lot of times when you're doing a lot of personal growth, then and your ex comes back, it's because you are being tested. You're being tested to see if you are really serious about having a new kind of relationship, having a new kind of love in your life, or whether you're willing to settle for more of the same out of comfort or out of fear. Um, and being tested by the universe is sometimes the trickiest thing to see and to understand. It's really hard sometimes to realize that that's what's going on. But if you realize it and you respond to it, then you won't have to be tested over and over and over again. You get to just move up to that next level of love right away. So, what is the right response when you're being tested in that way? That I get asked that question a lot. And really, you know the answer to that because your wisdom is always sovereign. You're never disconnected from your wisdom. It may have just been quiet for a while because you might have been ignoring it or avoiding it or pushing it down because it was telling you things that you didn't want to deal with. But essentially, the best way to respond to that situation is to respond differently than you always have in the past, which means treating yourself with more respect and more love than you always have in the past. And treating yourself in that way may feel unfamiliar at first, even though you know it's right. And that's okay because the more that you put your needs first, the more you will start getting used to that, the more familiar it will feel, the more right it will feel. So stay true to your own vision for what you want to have in your love life. And if you need some help with that, if you need some more support and you need some specific healing around that, then check out my free ebook. It's called The Heartache Cure, and you can get that at theheartachecure.com. So that's it for why does your ex come back when you have finally moved on? And for more tips on how to attract that deep, soulful, stand the test of time love that your heart deserves and craves, then subscribe. And remember that self-love is the best love. So put your healing first, love yourself first, love yourself best, and all other love will flow to you.